Hi, Dana. It's good to see you. I know we had a little hiatus for a little bit, but we're back on track, and we were just chatting about how the election, because that's just right around the corner next week, and how that has been impacting the market, and if it really does have much of effect or not. So, do you want to share what we've been chatting about?
Yeah, I will. So, how do presidential elections impact the housing market? Does an election slow down the housing market? From October to November, home sales decrease by 9.8% in a typical year and 15% in an election year. This year, our first-time home buyers are waiting until after the election to buy. Now, is that really election related or not? I think it has more to do with the interest rates being a little volatile, but um, that that's some statistics.
Right. Well, I think it goes back to people's mindsets. They think that um, depending on who gets in office, it's going to have a huge impact on the housing market, but that really isn't the case. I think we'll see in some of the data that you've pulled is that it's it's all in people's perception, right?
Correct.
Not what the actual facts are.
Yep.
And we'll see that it really doesn't have as big of an impact as people think that it does. And they're missing some opportunities, not and by waiting, I think.
Yep. Do more homes sell after an election? Home sales tend to bounce right back, and 82% of the time they've gone up the following year. Now, the last 2 years, home sales have been really pretty sluggish. And a lot of that's to do with inflation and the interest rates being pretty high. Experts are forecasting home sales will rise from 4.6 million to 5.2 million in 2025. But people are still afraid to put their homes on the market right now. So it might still be lower. I don't know. I do not think we're going to hit 4.6 million in home sales nationally this year. I think it's going to be a little lower because they've been trending closer to 4 all year. We got a little bump in September when rates dropped, but I don't think that's going to make up the difference.
Well, what might make up the difference is come 2025, the economic indicators and are thinking that we might hit in the 5% interest rate range mid to late 2025. That might make up some ground. And so to where I can see where they're getting the 5.2 million because they're thinking rates are going to be lower at that point.
Yeah, but I'm not sure we're going to hit 4.6 by year end because sales have been pretty sluggish. They've been tracking right around 4 million. So
Mhm.
I I think I think we're going to start lower. Will we make it up to that? Depends.
Yeah, for sure. We're going to be starting out slow into this back half of the year. Like you said, we saw interest rates hit 6% in September. And just with the economic data, not because the election, but other things going on in the market, we saw interest rates go back right up to 7.5. So that's kind of where we're sitting right now. And there'll be another wave. There'll be another wave down, but we're just not there yet.
And what happens to mortgage rates in an election year? From July to November in election years, mortgage rates have decreased 72% of the time. This year, we've been in a volatile environment. It's bouncing all over the place. I bet you're going nuts.
Yep, got
We
to hit it
were,
on a good day.
yeah, we were down at 6% in September, but we were 8% a year ago. So that's a substantial improvement. But rates aren't moving as much as we thought they would.
No, nope. They're not. Like we said, talked about, I think on another call, it was, we go two steps down, five steps up, one step down, three steps up. And that's kind of where we're at right now is we're in the up steps.
So, like we talked about a couple weeks ago, if you're shopping, you might want to lock and shop on a down day.
Yes. Yeah, definitely. A lock, and that's one thing that's really great to have is a lock in shop where you can cap lock the rate, and then when you get under contract, have the ability to float down to, if the rates do improve, but it safeguards you against any rate increases.
Yeah. So what happens to home prices after an election? Answer, prices have risen 88% of the time in the year following an election. This year, nationally, home prices are projected to continue going up by 2.5%, which is actually normal. It's
Mhm.
a lot more normal than we've been the last 2 years. We've been relatively flat year over year, and I'm not sure we're ever going to end the year with a gain. I think we're going to end the year flat because we've been
Mhm.
pretty flat. So, overall, the facts show presidential elections only have a small and temporary impact on the housing market. So, life will go on after the election, no matter who wins.
No, exactly. No matter who gets into office, it'll keep, it'll do what it normally does. So, yeah, I was talking to some people that, in different areas of the valley, and I don't know, they just think that, some of these little bedroom communities are like really hot. And I'm like, I don't know what data you're looking at. They're everywhere across the board in the valley, it's all flat. So, and it doesn't matter if you're in Salem or Silverton or Turner or, all of, Dallas, Independence, Monmouth, all of those places, we're all seeing across the board a flatlining.
Yeah, we are. And the one thing that for new home construction, Salem's hard for builders to do things with. They're not friendly to new construction or development. I mean, there's some huge developments that have been trying to get going for years and they've just been stalled in the city chambers. But you see Turner and Independence even changed their system development charges, so now they're not so friendly. But Monmouth is, and so is Dallas. Uh, Turner's friendly, Staten, Sublimity are friendly, Jefferson's friendly, Millersburg's friendly. You've got a lot of places that are opening up some new land for development so that we can take up some of this huge housing shortage that we have in our area.
Mm.
I think next year will bring some good things as long as interest rates come down a little bit. I think if we get down into the high fives, I think you're going to see things break loose, which we've been talking about for a while.
Yes, it's just the Federal Reserve keeps kicking the can down the road. So it's
Yeah.
just like, oh, it's going to happen now. Oh no, it's going to happen oh no, it's going to happen a little bit later. Like just like they were saying that we would see better rates in this year, that got pushed off into next year now. And then now they're talking about, if we're going to see the fives, it's probably going to be the back half of the 2025.
But
So
but I mean a lot of mortgage companies like yours are offering, no fees on a refinance. So you can refinance into a lower one, but you're going to take advantage of the market today because the people that want to sell that have their houses on the market during the fall, they want to sell. They
yeah,
have
they
someplace.
have a motivation more so than if they don't have really that a big reason to move, they're staying put until the spring. So you can get some really great deals. Most of my houses that I've ever purchased, not just kind of how it all has gone, has always been in the fall.
Yeah, we
Or,
always purchase
or,
in the,
or move. I was moving around Christmas one year, so
which
and
isn't fun.
it isn't fun, but it just happens how it rolled. So there's just really great opportunity now. So not having to wait, there's ways to keep that payment low, even though we're in a little bit higher rate environment. Because people will have, just like we saw in 2000, people are going to have probably two opportunities for refinancing. Take advantage of the savings in the first refi and get more of a savings in the second refi. And yeah, we're not doing any lender right now. We're offering a special that on refinances, if you purchase with us, then you're not going to have any lender fees on your refinance. So
which is
makes
a substantial savings. I
it
mean,
is a big savings. Yes.
it's not huge, but it's a good savings for that. And we get some housing movement. I mean, we've always moved in the winter almost every time, either that or late fall. So it's it's a good time for inspections. The people that want to sell are there, and you're beating the rush of spring. Typically, we see a 3 to 6% jump in housing prices in the spring.
Mhm.
So I would anticipate if you buy now, you're gonna win-win because you're gonna fix your highest payment now, and then you can refinance when the rates drop over a percentage point, and then you'll win twice as much.
Yeah, I just think about how much more money they would save just on the purchase price of the house, you
Yeah,
know. Um, so yeah, makes a difference. Well,
makes a
great
huge
talking to
difference.
you. Yeah, super talking to you and catching up and seeing what this election we think might do, which would it's just a one of those what they call a farce. But
Yeah, it's just a little blip, and people
it's not,
overreact to it.
yeah, exactly. Anyway, we'll chat with you next week.
All right, have a good one.
Ciao.